together. We change the world.
Hello everyone, it's your boy Theo here with a Should You Pull tier list for early March. This tier list is just my opinion and is not a measure of character strength. Team building is the core of this game and we can make any unit work when properly set up. If you have a favorite, always go for them. Jumping straight into the first event featuring reworks for Garnet and Terra. Garnet ushers in the Eco era with a brand new force. She's a support with often damage, but her force time is kind of bad, with HP damage bonus of plus 70% on Garnet's own turns, but only plus 50% on her allies' turns. Her force conditions are quite easy: deal thunder or water damage and battery other allies. But having a mediocre force time is not necessarily a bad thing anymore, since we can just use her force ability as Echo instead. Now for some pros and cons, her BT aura is still one of the strongest in game, and unlike most other supports, she comes with a strong off-turn attack that can trigger every 4 turns. Garnet is locked to thunder and water, and that can be situationally good or bad depending on the fight. I would say her only con is that she can't gauge charge outside of her EX. I've placed her in the You Decide tier. If you've been playing since the last anniversary and already have her BT green, then it can be a good idea to pull for her FR just to round up her kit. But if you are new and already own Penelo, she can be safely skipped. Recommendations if pulling: BT and FR. Use her as a BT or a bot with Force Echo, but don't use her Force time. Next up is Terra. She is a magic damage dealer with consecutive turns. She received a small rework with her force conditions, now with increased HP damage bonus of plus 80% on her own turns and plus 60% on her allies' turns. Conditions are still the same: use an instant turn magic ability. Her pros and cons: Terra's force ability is instant turn, making it especially good in the Eco era. Her turn hogging mechanic is situational, but we can easily opt in or out by timing her LD usage. Her base kit really isn't up to par with current standards, and that puts her in safe skip. She just doesn't get enough upgrade to be the party's solo damage dealer. Recommendations if pulling: Force. Terra shares a banner with Garnet, so there's a decent chance of getting her force weapon if you're pulling for Garnet. It can be a good idea to max her force weapon if you have the resources. Her echo capability can be quite decent. We can use her as finisher on the final turns of force time, or double tap her echo early and swap to a friend unit. Next event features XIII. She lashes out her whip as our final non-BT character upgrade. XIII is a single target specialist with off-turn damage that activates every field action. She gets a fairly generic FR with plus 75% HP damage bonus per turn when using a single target attack on an enemy with maximum stack of her snake bite debuff. Pros and cons: her often damage actually scales with force time, so she stays relevant all throughout a fight. Her skill 2 Elemental Slash has 3 elements associated to it, so we'd want to take extra care in fights with elemental lockouts. Her cons are what made her a safe skip for me. XIII is decently strong, but she needs the Ultima weapon, and Whip is just not an easy investment to make. One thing to note is that Selfie is one of the banner made. If you need a launcher support, then it might be worth spending a few tickets to get Selfie's LD. Recommendations if you are pulling: the full kit. XIII wants all her gears to function, including attack spheres and artifacts. And the final event from Garnet's BT cycle is Warrior of Light. He is a tank with a versatile FR that has both on-turn and off-turn conditions. Off-turn, we get plus 40% HP damage bonus whenever we take absorb or reduce brave damage. On-turn, allies can get up to plus 30% HP damage bonus per turn when we have shields active, with Warrior of Light himself getting up to plus 50% HP damage bonus when attacking an enemy targeting himself. Some pros and cons. His Force Time comes with powerful bonus of 50% HP damage and HP damage limit up, making it stronger than your average FR. He has no often damage, but his shield is one of the most potent damage mitigator in-game. His BT is also optional, making him a budget-friendlier option. For new player, Warrior of Light is a game changer. He can trivialize a lot of content because of his unparalleled damage mitigation. Veterans that already owns a bunch of damage mitigation or often FR might not need what Warrior of Light has to offer. Note that he might come with Minwoo as his banner mate, making his banners even more attractive for newcomer. Recommendations if pulling: Force. BT is optional. He only needs up to his LD or FR to properly function. While his BT can be nice to have, if you are tight on budget, you can safely skip the BT. The next event features Cloud of Darkness and Neon. Cloud of Darkness is a magic damage dealer with often damage. They get a slightly updated FR. The old conditions of delay, break delay, and magic damage are still the same, but they are given a brand new condition of plus 15% HP damage bonus when Cloud of Darkness uses a magic ability. All of these conditions apply both on turn and off turn. For some pros and cons, Cloud of Darkness has decent damage both on turn and off turn. They can turn still whenever they inflict break. Managing their darkness stack is key to maximizing the damage, and that can be a turn off for some players. Their often damage is also tied to the BT weapon, and having a green BT is mandatory. For this reason, I put Cloud of Darkness in safe skip. They require too heavy of an investment just to be a decent character. Your BT materials might be better saved for future units. Last but not least, we have Neon, the ender of BT cycle. Starting from her event, we'll have a new BT and FR introduced every event. No more BT cycles moving forward. Neon is a fire damage dealer with party fire enchant and a strong debuff. She comes with a fairly generic FR with plus 70% HP damage bonus per turn when the party uses a fire ability on a target with stackable debuff while dealing at least 9999 brave damage. Now for the pros and cons, her debuff is strong. At 6 stacks or above, any brave damage done to the enemy will be maximum, ignoring enemy resistance. And it's not too hard to manage these debuff stacks since Neon can reliably refresh them. She does have some turn hogging aspect in her kit, but we can easily opt out by not using S1. Neon is forced to fire element, so she can be prone to elemental lockouts. Neon holds a solid place in the You Decide tier. She's a fun and independent character that can provide a lot to the team while not needing much help herself. Recommendations if pulling: the full gear. Neon needs the entirety of her kit to properly function. Her skills and debuff synergizes off each other. Now for my pull plan for early March. I'll be using my tickets for Garnet's FR and gems for Neon. I already have both Terra and Cloud of Darkness FRs, so I'll just use some enhancement points to unlock their echoes. And that's it for the tier list. What is your pull plan for this cycle? Let me know in the comments. If there's anything you disagree with, let me know as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!